Greetings. Welcome one and all to the city of Corvosa, the setting for this actual play of Curse of the Crimson Throne. All of us here at RollTales recommend that you at least be 18 years of age before joining us on this dark fantasy adventure path. Curse of the Crimson Throne contains mature content and discretion is advised. Now the time has come. Prepare yourselves. This is a tale of cause and effect. Let's play a game. Let's roll. Hello everyone, welcome back to Curse of the Crimson Throne. Bit of a heads up before we start today. Unfortunately, we've got no Topher. He's not very well, but he has given us consent and permission to play on. So I'm back here today with Alex, Greg and Kieran. I'm Mark Alexander Cross. Welcome you all back to our actual play of The Edge of Anarchy, Book 1 of the Curse of the Crimson Throne Adventure Path. And well, the party are currently in the middle of their first proper mission working for the Corvosan Guard. And well, last session we had a bit of cause and effect from another actual play that we have done here on RollTales from Rise of the Runelords in regards to one Auric Van Kaskakin. Now, Alex and Greg were there, so was Topher, but Kieran wasn't. So just to quickly explain it out, the last adventure path before this one, which is Rise of the Runelords, you actually meet Auric Van Kaskakin, and there are several things that could happen with Auric. The party chose a diplomatic route, and things have worked out the way they have. Not only that, that party, and this is, not going to lie, smaller for the Rise of the Runelords adventure path that we have here on RollTales, but the party gave him quite a bit of money, and with that bit of money, he's been able to come here to Corvosa and actually track down his younger brother, who even writes in this book, Beric looks up to a lot. So, a nice little bit of cause and effect, which I personally think is pretty cool. So, before we crack on for today, I want to ask you gentlemen, has there been any cause and effect, like little knock-on effects? It could be in TV, video games, or another TTRPG campaign that you've played. Has there been any sort of like little knock-on effects that you have thought that have been really, really cool? Greg, you played a few campaigns with me. Has there been any sort of like callbacks or throwbacks or anything that you've seen in a video game that that sticks out to you as a real badass thing?
Oh God, now you're gonna make. I have to put my brain in gear. Give me a sec.
It's too early.
Too early. Oh God, ew.
No, it's all right. It's just
my brain just went scramble. It's gone blank. Pull out something.
Yeah, it's all right. No worries. Alex, anything stands out in your mind, like cool little callbacks?
Oh, it's hard to say, really.
Great banter.
I mean, there's various films that have become TV series and vice versa, and I think that have little nods to past storylines, but nothing comes to mind at the moment.
Ah, interesting. I thought this would be a nice little point of banter today, but it seems like people are having a bit of trouble. And I think I could kind of understand that. I think it may be slightly easier for me being a game master. But Kieran, anything for you sticking out?
I have 2 words for you.
Oh, go on then.
Hey, hey.
Oh, hey, hey. Oh my God, hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Yeah, the plains walking chicken. Right,
I'm so glad I asked, can I grab that chicken? That's all I'm saying.
You're welcome.
Yeah, for those of you who do not know, but there is, even on this channel, there's a subtle references to this chicken every now and then. And basically this began in a home game years ago that Greg was running. And Kieran, for some strange, bizarre reason, wanted to catch this one singular chicken. And no matter what he did, he could simply not catch this chicken. And believe it or not, Greg was the game master for that game. And that chicken ended up escaping by some of the most ridiculous means.
That is only after you lot got trapped at the bridge that you couldn't cross, and Hey decided, well, you're taking too long, let's teleport you across.
Yes, this chicken. What we were doing is, I will fess up to this. It was years ago, before all the travel really came to the forefront. but we were playing Storm King's Thunder, and there is a bridge at the start of the game that was broken, and for whatever reason, the rolls were just not on our side. We could not get across it, so therefore, this planeswalking magical chicken teleported us across the bridge because we were really sucking that much. So every now and then, this chicken appears in a RollTales game. I think he's appeared in Kingmaker so far. He's had a cameo.
I've also run him in my campaigns that I ran with a different group of people. I just had I can't remember what we were playing Curse of Strahd, and I think they were sort of like near the Hag's Mill or something. And I was just like, everyone roll me a perception check. And somebody got like above a 50, and I was just like, you notice like almost like a flash or a blink of like a really dull light in the corner of your eye, and then when you look over there, there's just nothing there. They're like, okay. And I have this happen a few times to make it a little bit ominous, and then all of a sudden I'm like, you see that this blinding flash of light come from behind you, and you turn around and there's just a chicken there. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, there's a chicken there. And obviously one of them's like, okay, I'm going to try and shoot the chicken, or, you know, because they're a bunch of murder hobos. So I had hey like evaporate out of the way, and then teleport one of the players like back to the village, and then just disappear just to cause some chaos. Yeah. I was just like, nah, fuck you guys, don't kill my chicken.
Oh dear!
Yeah, don't mess with the chicken. We've learned this.
Don't. He's
the metagaming pigeon.
Yeah, he's our metagaming pigeon. So keep your eyes and ears out. You may see a certain chicken turn up, but I must admit, if every time I use Hey, it's only for what I think will hopefully be a legit. I don't do it willy-nilly. I try to do it for times where, because this is the thing, especially with this campaign as well, there's a lot of serious, heavy stuff in this campaign. And we mentioned Curse of Strahd as well. There's a lot of heavy stuff in that. But, you know, even in these campaigns, you need to have some levity sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to break that stuff up. So, who knows? Maybe a certain chicken will appear in this adventure path sooner or later. But speaking of chickens, let's see if our party are going to be a bunch of chickens dealing with the Cowhammer boys. Let's get on with it, and let's see what exactly is going to happen at all the World's Meet. Okay, so the last time we played Curse of the Crimson Throne, our party of adventurers working for the Corvoisin Guard as, I suppose, independent freelancers, received their first gig in regards to one Watch Sergeant Veric Van Kaskakin. And well, it appears that this Sergeant Van Kaskakin has deserted his post. Not only that, he has taken some other guard members with him. The party's job is simple: bring back Van Kaskakin. It is a dead or alive order. However, alive is preferred. And well, if they were to bring him back dead, then then their reward for this job will only be halved. Now, they proceeded, after doing a week's worth of investigation, to the North Point district of Corvoisa. In fact, they're in the region of North Ghent. And they headed on down to what I found out to be number 22 Sturge Street. There, they found an old, shut-down butchery called All the World's Meat. Apparently, Van Kaskakin and his 4 men, his 4 boys, whatever you want to call them, have held up there and are seemingly preparing to get ready to open the butchery for service. Now, after a bit more snooping around and some more investigating, they discovered that 4 out of those 5 have been making a bit of a name for themselves around the North Point region. It seems like that they have formed a unit that has become known as the Cowhammer Boys. And they will do the odd job for the right amount of coin. And all you have to do in order to enlist their services is go up to the butchery and order the night's special cuts. The party also met Auric van Kaskakin, the brother of Veric, who is here in Korvosa, basically just trying to find his little brother and catch up with him. And it seems like Auric has come into a situation where Veric has not only deserted his post, but could be potentially be doing something very, very stupid. Now, Auric does not want his brother to hang. Even though the crime for desertion is death in Korvosa, he hopes that there is some other way that this situation can be dealt with. Because, quite frankly, if you look at the state of the city right now, as Auric put it, he felt that Veric could do with a slap on the wrist, but he feels that the whole city could do with a slap on the wrist at the moment. And the party actually agreed with him. So on Auric's behalf, they staked out all the world's meat. And they discovered that the Cowhammer Boys got hired for a job that very same night, renting a top floor room in a nearby house. The party staked out all the world's meat, as mentioned, and noticed several things. One, somehow, someway, all the world's meat is getting livestock to butcher and to potentially sell. However, not much in terms of livestock is being delivered. Very few, very little. On top of that, it seems like that the Cowhammer Boys, when they're doing their nightly duties, are dragging back to all the world's meat their targets. And what the party noticed in their stakeout was that, well, 2 individuals came back from their last job, went into all the world's meat with the Cowhammer Boys, but as of going on 8 hours later, have not come back out. And this is where we'll bring the game back in for today. Okay. Whoops. Wrong one.
Blind.
It's that one. You didn't see that, but I did click the wrong map button. Alright, so let's return to outside all the world's meat. Okay, so the next day has come into Korvosa. You are on the edge of 22 Sturge Street. And the day is actually the Galerion Thursday, which is known as Oath Day. And you have spent the entire night staking out all the world's meat. Let's say you make a start at 9 AM, so early, but not too early, so you can all have significant rests through your respective watches during the stakeout. And for the stakeout, and for making more successes than failures, the party is awarded 15 experience points for a minor achievement award.
Yay.
So that should take you up to around about 310, I believe.
Yep.
That is correct.
Okay, the day is yours. You have the information that you have been given, but what are you going to do with it? The floor is yours, team.
Well, this is gonna be different than what I expected. I didn't expect them to take people and then not release them.
Yes, that's certainly something that's got to be considered. Let me think. And well, let's say if we all end up meeting back at Romeo's location back in that room. I just lean up against the wall, and I think on past exploits to see what we can pull off here.
What about anybody else? Any thoughts, theories, or ideas?
Well, I'm not very good at the stealth aspect. I normally just walk in through the front door and start probing and things like that.
Same. So,
Same here.
why don't we just go up there and smash their heads in and get this over with?
Well, says Romeo, I can stealth. I was trained. However, my skills are kind of rusty. I'm not quite the expert I used to be, so I don't feel confident that if you wanted to take a stealth approach, I would be able to lead you through it, or follow my tracks, so to speak. At least, not yet anyway.
Understandable.
It is pretty fair. I think he's been retired for the past century.
Well, he has been stuck in an antiques shop for quite some time of his life, so skills are a bit diminished to what they were.
So, what does that leave us with? Deception or brute force?
I vote brute force.
How about both?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Go on.
Okay, so if we get Auric involved with this as well, we get him to source a horse and cart so we can put Varric in, take him somewhere safe, perhaps not directly to the Citadel, but maybe what's the house that we were staying in previously?
That's a straight.
Yeah, that one. That's a straight road down with a horse and cart, so that'd be a quick journey. Back in character. So, if we get someone to approach them, give the code word, whatever it is, tell them that we have a shipment coming in of good quality booze. I need some brute force lads to get it off a ship and take it to a storehouse in Olcavosa. And when they leave, give them a minute or two to get out of eyesight. We then break in, look for Varric, beat the crap out of him, knock him out, get him in the wagon, and take him somewhere that we can hide him. Then go to the Citadel, get a couple of cross guards, be back in the butchery. When the other four think, "Oh, this has been stood up. There's nothing here," they come back, and we can all pounce on them in a greater number. They can be arrested, and then we can interrogate Varric, find out what the hell's going on, search the place in the meantime, and get a reward for bringing back all the stuff they stole.
Potentially. My biggest question would be, how long before they figure it out? And how fast can they hustle, because it's not exactly far.
I think, if I may, I think the plan is good, but, well, maybe a bit over-complicated. I don't trust that Van Kaskakin, that Auric. If his brother is a deserter, then how can he be trusted either? However, he did give us 4 gold. So, what if we just hire out those cowhammer boys, like he was originally going to do, give them a phony name for a target and a location, and wait until tonight when they go out to do the job, and then sneak in then. And for the record, I gave a DC 10 intelligence check for that idea. I'm not a fan of NPCs sitting around doing nothing in this game.
Fair enough.
Sounds like a reasonable and likely plan. Perhaps, as long as we ensure the name we give isn't some poor wretch in town who, accidentally gets caught in the crossfire, I have no qualms with this plan.
Maybe we can set it upon someone who may cause us trouble later. Could be fun.
Maybe. If we combine the two, send them up to, what's the street?
You want to be as far as possible away from where
Exactly.
we are. Like,
I mean,
Lancet Street isn't far.
Yeah, I searched this place from top to bottom looking for a ring until I came across Romeo's shop. And I searched the dock areas, I searched everything. So if we send them high, like, was it up to the Siege Break Circle? Maybe there's someone there that owes us something, has taken something. Grab them, bring them back, do whatever the hell they do, then we can reward them with a little extra than they get paid. So, time for them to go up there, find the person, find out it's a ruse, come back, and we could do what I exactly said. So we can store Eric in, I gave the keys to the fishery to Croft. Never mind. We can store him in Lancet Street. And get the guards, go back, and then deal with the other four.
I can't. If we're going to Lancet Street, we might as well just drop him off at Vorschneck. It's not exactly further.
But we could do with a bit of information.
Depends
Also,
on what we find.
Before he gets hanged.
if you want to source out the horse and cart, well, the stables and the horse shop is actually in East Shore. So, if we are to try and procure a horse and cart, we would probably have to go there. The Citadel may have a cart, but I do know the Corvoisic Guard are a ground-based force. They don't really use horses.
We've got plenty of time to source one until this evening. So if we do get stuff that we need to do this morning, say come back late afternoon, give them their job and their coin, and then we'll maneuver this evening to do what needs to be done.
Alright, so that sounds like that's a plan in place. So basically, you're gonna lure the Cowhammer boys away and basically try and nab Varric, snatch him up, stick him in a cart, and potentially get him out of there before the Cowhammer boys get back.
Yeah, and I know it was something, some cost in silver to give the owner of the house for us to rent that room. So,
As far as I'm aware, Romeo has paid for that.
yeah, it was for one night.
Right.
So, I will actually give them a gold, so we can have the room for the day, the night, and possibly the next day as well, if all things turn up shape.
For a gold, yeah, there'll be no diplomacy check needed for that amount of money. So yeah, they'll deduct one gold, and the owners of the house would happily accept that, no questions asked. They just, they just request that if you are up to something, not to bring it down on their heads.
Not at all. But they got 2 beefy half orcs and the other 2 stomping around there upstairs. So I think it's worth it.
All right, so let's get this plan into motion. So, for the sake of ease for today, Romeo says, because of the mercantile background and the fact that he lives in East Shore, he could go to the horse stables and he could arrange for a horse and cart. He would certainly know the owner, and let's have a look. Let me just check his coinage. Yeah, he should have enough to cover the rental for however long you need it. So, when are you? How long would you like to rent out this horse and cart?
Let's say 24 hours, because that way, if we decide to go to drop Varric somewhere before the Citadel to get some information out of him, then we have him to directly drag his ass to there the next morning.
All right. Awesome. So, looking at the transportation costs here at the GM screen, I'm going to say this is roughly the equivalent of a caravan. So for a caravan, it's 3 copper pieces per 5 miles. So for a day, I'm going to say it is going to be... Well, hold on a second. 3, 6, 9... I'm going to say it's going to be about... Let's see. Math. I'll get this math sorted out, and I'll figure out how much it's going to be. So, what about the remainder of your plan? Talk that out. So you're going to have the horse and cart.
Right. Well, we got a good vantage point from here to see them leave.
Yep.
So we can calmly leave the house, walk around the opposite side of the butchery, see if we can spot them in the distance, and when we know they're out of earshot, we'll try and stealth our way in. If not, we'll make a hole in the wall if need be, and lay into Varric if he's there.
I once again mention I cannot stealth at all.
But if Romeo can get us in, then we'll do all the heavy stuff.
Sounds
Okay.
like a plan.
Cool. All right. So, you have a plan of action. So, there we go. That's sorted. I'm ruling that a 24-hour horse and cart hire is going to cost 2 silver, 5 copper. So, Romeo is going to disappear off to East Shore then to go and hire out a horse and cart, and then he'll bring it back to you, but this will take a few hours. Any other prep you're going to do in during this time? He's going to be gone for a little while. For example, there is still Auric around.
I mean, I will probably go up to the tavern that he's staying at.
It's the Laughing Wave Inn.
Yeah, that's it. Explain that we're going to move in tonight, we're going to distract the Cowhammer boys, and take his brother somewhere safe before taking him back to Croft to find out what's been really going on.
Okay.
So if he wants to join us in breaking in, maybe calm his brother down or help him subdue him, then that's on him. Or if he wants to keep an eye on the Cowhammer boys, and and
No,
come
he'll
back.
he will definitely want to come with you to go to Varric. He honestly believes that if you take him with you, Varric's not going to do jack all if he sees him, and he wouldn't mind a few words with him in private anyway. The only thing he says to you, and we'll RP this out, is it just you going by yourself, Farrell, or is the other two going with you?
We're all heading in to investigate the whole thing and subdue your brother. He has got a dead or alive order, but we would preferably want to keep him alive to find out why he did this. So if you can talk him down, persuade him to come with us, then all the better. If not, you can try and bust him up like a festive turkey and then throw him into a car.
Forgive me. What I meant to say was, is it just you with him, Ferrell, or has Ark and Ronursh gone with you?
Oh, I mean, if they got other stuff on today, it may have just been me, but if they've come with me...
I'd go with you.
I'll stay. I want to keep an eye on the place.
Yeah,
Alright.
so it's just us then.
Okay. So, what you just said, though, well, that still happens, so don't get me wrong at all. But
Yeah.
as soon as you say that to Auric, he nods. Well, I definitely want to come with you, but there's something I'm worried about.
Go on.
You've got a soldier boy in your ranks, haven't you? The old elf is not with you right now. He's a soldier,
Oh.
isn't he?
Former.
I noticed something yesterday.
Mhm.
He didn't introduce himself to me. Didn't share his name. And his look towards me was nothing but distrustful disdain. I'm worried because I've met... Right. I'm a merc. I've worked with military organisations before, but I've never worked for them. And there's a reason why I haven't. And it is because of people... Not saying he's a bad man, but it's because of people like him. They look at the world in black and white. They think... He thinks... And I'm pretty sure of this, I've seen it before, and I've seen it again, and I will see it in the future. He thinks, because I share the same blood as Varric, I can't be trusted. He probably thinks my brother just deserves to hang right out. Now, I have already accepted that what could happen to my brother could happen. But I want to make sure he gets a fair shake of the stick, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will stick my hands up and admit that. But I'm pretty damn sure that your elven companion has already condemned my brother to death.
I can see where you're coming from. I've had the same dealings in my own past. I mean, we've been hired by this, that, and the other, me and my tribe, even when I was just a youngling. And the more sterner authorities have given us the dog's eye. But not to worry. We intend to bring him in alive. We need to see justice done first, and then justice will admittedly bring a conclusive end.
Well,
He will not take your brother's life. Not this night.
I don't think he was going to do that. I think he was going to follow his orders like a good little soldier. I just don't like someone being condemned before someone has got to know them. like I said, I know my little brother's messed up. I'm not going to deny that. But a man like him will never ask the question, why did he do what he did?
And that's why we others are here. He will ask the questions. And with his former authority, we can make sure that he is dealt with properly when the time comes.
All right.
I mean, you said yourself that your brother had integrity and honor, and this doesn't sound like him, so there's got to be something else behind this.
Oh, to be honest with you, I think I misspoke yesterday. I think this very much sounds like him, but he owes this city a lot. So what I was getting at was he wouldn't do what he was doing. Either he's been tricked, or either the reason is really bloody good.
And with your help, go ahead.
It's not for us to judge, and while his opinions may differ from ours, we are in a united front. You have nothing to fear. And
Well, that's why I was worried about the old man in your team. Don't know him, not gonna judge him, but I know a soldier.
Indeed.
I was the first way when I met him as well. There's a connection between us now, and I think I can talk to him and make sure that he does what he needs to do and not disappoint your feelings.
All right then. So it sounds like you got a plan. What do you need me to do? Come with you. Make sure that Varric doesn't give you a fight.
I mean, at some point this afternoon, we're going to send someone to give the boys a job. They leave this evening, say under the cover of darkness. We have a vantage point to look over the whole building, so when we see them leave, we can carefully make our way around, and they're out of sight, and get into the premises one way or another.
All right then. Fair enough. Let's do this then. All right. So Auric will come with you. So who is going to deal with the Cowhammer boys and essentially send them on this wild goose chase? Ark, is that going to be down to you?
I'm guessing so.
Comparative to Ark and Romeo, are they about the same stature? Same build?
I think. Let's have a look. I think Romeo is taller than Ark. Romeo's 6'2". Stature-wise, I think he will be slim like Ark, but he would definitely have more muscle because he is a former soldier. He has kept in shape, and he does constantly use a physical weapon in the form of a bow.
No, because Ark rolling up with his academy attire, strike with them, it might be something off. So if we send Ark in to be diplomatic, we'd have to change his whole outfit over. So I was thinking if they were about the same build, they can swap clothes for 10 minutes.
You forget this is Corvosa. There's always politics around.
True, but you walking up in the academy colours, it's like, yeah, we're not going to trust you.
Well,
Everyone
depends.
gets paid.
Yeah, it depends. Well, let's see what happens. Ark, are you doing anything to change your attire, or are you going as is?
He doesn't need to appear. Probably actually just take off his coat, because underneath it, surprisingly, is just standard studded leather armor.
There we are then.
Okay. So, Ark approaches All the Worlds Meet. Shall we say this is about lunchtime when this all happens, after the other members have gone to see Auric and stuff like that yet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sounds about right.
Okay, so it's going to be about lunchtime then. And Ark approaches All the Worlds Meet. You're outside the door, and today a new painted sign has been erected up in the front shop window saying, opening this upcoming Moon Day. Free meat for all, first come, first served.
I'll
What do you-
just knock on the door.
Alright, so you wait a couple of moments, and then a figure appears in the shop window. He appears to be a human Corvosan male, late 30s. Definitely the physique of a guard. You can just tell he just has that look about him. He kind of reminds you, actually kind into real life for a second, my uncle, when he retired from the army, he went to work as legit as a butcher. So you can kind of tell that this man has done service of some kind. The hair, which was a dirty sort of blonde, is now starting to turn white with age. There is definitely some crow's lines across the eyes, and a very determined look upon their face as a voice comes from behind the window. Read the sign! We're not open until next Moon Day!
That's fine. I'm after the night special cut anyway.
The figure doesn't say anything else, just makes direct eye contact with you, and then nods. And basically goes to the front door of the shop, unbolts it, opens it up before you, and invites you to come in.
Thank you very much.
Right. So, we'll actually go to the scene of the shop. Ark, you're there with this member of the Cowhammer boys, and yeah, he just looks at you and he says, "The name's Mulder. What can I do you for?"
Well, I need someone taken care of. Up by Siege Break Circle. They're causing me some issues in my current business.
Alright. And what sort of things are you looking for in regards to dealing with this situation?
I would like a disappearance, but with enough things remaining so that people know what happens when they mess with that area.
We can certainly make that person disappear.
Fantastic.
It's going to be 4 gold though.
That's
not cheap.
not a problem.
Oh. Good. Money up front, but I'll give you my guarantee, as I've given you my name, that it will be done.
That is fantastic to hear. Do you want payment now with the details, or details then payment?
Of course, I want details, a name for this individual, And also a name for yourself, even if it's not a real one.
Oh, that's not a problem. The person you're looking up for at Siegebreak Castle goes by the name of Yvonne Monroe. Human, about 5'9", scruffy, dark hair, dark eyes, wanders around with a hatchet of all things so uncivilized. Normally hangs around towards the bars up there.
Alright, in that case, make me a deception check, please, with a +1 item bonus from handing over the cash.
Fantastic.
And it's going to be a secret roll. Doo-da, doo-da.
Oh, secret.
Yeah, just setting this all up, folks. Okay. You hand over the gold pieces, you say the name, and this individual molder says, and a name for yourself, even if it's not your real one. You have to understand. You have to understand. We don't screw each other, if that makes sense.
Of course not. You can call me Walker.
Another secret deception check, but also with the +1 bonus. Thank you, Greg. He turns and he says, "Very well, Mr. Walker. When would you like it done?"
The sooner the better. Is that if that's not too inconvenient? He's causing too much mischief at the moment.
Well, we can't have that.
No, we can't. It's bad for business.
All right, you got a description of this person for me? I know you said human, but I'm going to need a bit more than that.
Of course.
And basically, we'll gloss over the details of that. And the only thing I will ask is, Ark, as we've even gone to the map and you've seen the shop front of All the World's Meat, I'll give you the descriptor for the area as well. A sign bearing the image of a fat, smiling cow hangs above the entrance to this shop. Inside, a large counter runs over half the room's width, beyond which is a door that stands actually ajar. A low bench sits against the east wall, while to the north, a marble-top display. On the map, it's showing cuts of meat, but the cuts of meat are not quite there yet. A few flies circle in this room, indicating that this room is not quite ready to be used yet in terms of a shop front. It's nearly there, but it's not quite there yet. So while you are in here and you are talking to this molder, is there anything you want to do, essentially exploration wise? Is your eyes darting around? Anything you could do, anything you want to do while Mulder is distracted?
While Mulder is distracted, I'll just have a quick, just like as he entered the building, like quick look at what sort of security they've got just at the front, if we have to break in.
Sure, in that case then, give me a public perception check, please.
Yep. 19.
Okay. The lock on the door just looks like a simple Corvosan door lock. Nothing special about it. As for this room itself, you could potentially get in through this way quietly. The door that is ajar to the south has no visible lock on it. However, if a fight was to break out, then the countertop, which looks like it is properly nailed in, would be a good area for cover. The grimy windows which are situated here. As long as they don't get cleaned up between now and shop opening, will also provide cover in terms of visual from the outside. A person would have to get up close and personal to the shop window to see inside.
I can't actually see anything.
That's because only Greg's token is on the board.
Ah.
He's going to have to tell you this himself.
Ooh.
Mm.
So, that is what you noticed, Ark.
Fantastic.
Alright, so Mulder turns around and he says, "Alright then, Mr. Walker, it will be done tonight. Rest assured that the Cowhammer boys will have this done, and also, if you could, sir, spread the word. We are..."
Of course.
Well, no, it's not just because of the night's special cuts, but basically, Iliosa, that gold-digging bitch, is going to run this city into the ground. We're not going to have that. What's on that sign is genuine. As of Moon Day from next week, the people of Corvosa will be offered free meat, first come, first served basis. Just don't say anything to the Corvosan Guard or those bloody Hell Knights.
Of course. Can I use a thing quickly?
What thing would you like to use, Greg?
I'd like to use Lie to Me.
Okay, so lie to me. Attacks, general and skill. You can use deception to weave traps to trip up anyone trying to deceive you. If you can engage in conversation with someone trying to lie to you, you can use your deception DC if it's higher than your perception DC to determine whether they succeed. This doesn't apply if you don't have a back and forth dialogue, such as when someone attempts to lie during a long speech. So what sort of lie, because I would imagine you're switching to your deception DC.
Yes, I am trapping. I'm trying to see if there's anything specific about around like the reason or like around the meat and why they're giving it out for free. If that's the correct reason why they're doing this.
Okay, so let's have a look. Let's see, if you can engage in conversation with someone trying to lie to you, you use your deception DC. So we'll actually say your deception DC will kind of act akin to here to a kind of like an assurance sense motive. So what is your deception DC?
It would be an 18, I believe.
Okay. It's strange talking to this Mulder. He seems to be believing in what he is saying. You can make me a follow-up sense motive check off that if you want. You get the impression he's not lying to you, or rather, he's not lying to himself either. He believes in what he's spinning.
Fantastic. Sense motive, which one's that? Perception based, isn't it?
Yeah, that is perception based. Make this one a public roll. This is just to see if you get a bit of a follow-up.
Oh no, that's a 9.
Yeah, off a 9, that's all you get. He's not trying to lie to you. You get the sense that he believes in what he is saying.
Fantastic. As he continues, I'm like, of course, you're doing me a favor, then I'll do you a favor. This is how most business works.
Well, of course. Meat is hard to come by, so this gold will definitely go towards getting supplies.
Of course, of course. We can't
Now-
have some jumped up too big wannabe queen disrupting our business here.
Now that second part more registers along the white lie stakes.
Hmm.
Well,
Well,
if that's it, Mr. Walker, I bid you good day and thank you very much for your patronage.
of course. Of course. If you ever need anything happening up by Siege Break Circle, seek me out. I'm sure we can work something else as well.
Fantastic. It will be done. And with that, Ark leaves all Llewell's meat. Okay. So, some more time passes. Let's say the party all meet up back together.
Well, if we want to break in through the front way, it's certainly doable. They have standard locks. The only issue I can see is the counter. Could claustrophobic, could have things behind it. Bit of a choke point.
Well, failing that, he did survey the delivery way with that fence. If that's just a simple lock and chain, I can hammer it with my hatchets and break the lock.
That
Get in
works. They're going out tonight, by the way. Just thought I should mention. I thought the sooner the better.
Perfect.
Auric is with you and he says, so, you want to wait until they go out and then get in and nab Varric?
Pretty much.
The plan. I just hope they all go.
Well, on the way here, Daryl here told me about this room you've rented out. So why don't we keep an eye on from there and then make our way in once they're done.
Sounds
Um,
good.
And from this looking point, we can see how many leave and if we need to be a bit more cautious when we get in.
Also, there was something slightly off. I was having a conversation with Mulder. They're not being truthful about how hard it is to get meat. There's something slightly off about that. They have another source that I'm not quite sure about. It's my theory.
I mean, with all the meat that's been said, that's been delivered, and all they had in the last 24 hours is 3 pigs and a cow, it's hardly anything that's going to go around much.
Well, be on your guard in case they're getting something more exotic.
Alright, so Romeo comes back with the horse and cart hire, and you tell him of this plan and what he will do, and also to make this nice and easier for today, is basically Romeo does literally have the nature skill, so he can command an animal to ride. So, in layman's terms, he suggests he's going to be your wheelman. Basically, he'll have the engine running and ready to go from when you nav Van Kaskakin.
Mark, remind me, when we did the survey around the building, were there upper windows?
They are, but only on the 2nd floor.
Perfect. What he can do, if he spots the boys come back early, he can fire an arrow through one of the windows, and when we hear breaking glass, we know we're gonna get company.
Awesome. He'll nod and he'll say, I will be ready when you are. And with that, shall we execute this plan then?
Yep.
All right. So, it goes into the Corvosan afternoon. The Cowhammer boys head off, this time at around about 7 p.m. The light level, because it's Corvosan spring, sun is trying to set, or is starting to set, but it's not down quite yet. So, let's actually go to All the Worlds Meet. Let's begin this crazy thing. So you proceed all around to the back gate. You still have light, although it is starting to fall. You're probably going to have to want to do this not quickly, but if you don't want to absolutely blip out, so to speak, with light spells or torches, you're going to have to be not quick, but light is not entirely on your side for the members of the party who do not have dark vision. In this case, Auric and Ark. We'll say the time after the Cowhammer boys. 15 minutes after they're gone.
That works.
And did we see how many left?
4 of them.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Again, and Auric can confirm this as he's with you. Nah, my brother's not with them. And it seems like they've come out. Why are they coming out via the back?
Less likely to be spotted, my guess.
If there's no way over the counter, then coming out the back, so it makes much more sense.
Alright, so let's get some exploration in. And we've been practicing how this mode works. So there are a series of exploration moves. However, I have found the easiest way to do exploration is just to tell me what your characters would like to do in the basis of the story, and then I translate it. Auric will turn around and tell you, I'm not expecting any trouble, but that is when you get your ass caught out. So I'm going to expect trouble. So as Auric is with you, he will actually scout for you.
Wonderful.
So the effects of scouting is upon the party, so if initiative is rolled, you will actually have a +1 bonus. So let's go around in token order and let's see what everybody else would like to do for exploration. So, Beryl.
Right, so these are the back delivery gates, yes?
Correct.
Right, are they chained or locked at all?
They are indeed locked.
Standard lock, or is it chained up?
You press it and you determine that this has been...
No, it's sorry. Is it like flat doors, or is it like a proper fence gate thing that they have chained up?
It's a proper fence gate with a chain on the front and a lock on it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for.
Gotcha.
Right, so I take out both my hatchets, and I basically use it as a chisel to break the lock.
Okay, I'm going to need the break DC. I'm going to get that sorted out for you. So for your exploration action, can I have a secret athletics check then, please?
Right.
Ark, what are you thinking?
Probably seeing if... Can I see the building from here? Or is this wall completely blocking it out?
No, it's a high fence, so about
So
7 foot. But if you take a
Is-
step back, you still see the building. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any due to this hour being around, getting dimmer? Is there lights on in the top?
There is actually light in the top of the building. Yes, on the 2nd floor.
Then I would like to check for movement in case someone's steps in front of the light and casts a shadow if they hear anything.
Sure. Can I have a secret perception check then off you, please?
Yep.
All right, awesome. And finally, Ronursh, what would you like to do?
I would like to enter my mountain stance and just be ready for quick action.
Okay, then bring up your mountain stance then into the chat, and we'll drag that effect onto your token. So your AC is going to go up by 2.
Did I do it right?
No. Hold on. You just click on. Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
there you go.
Yeah,
Being
there
a
you go.
twat.
And where it says stance there, or in the game chat, just literally click and drag. I'll do it today, but just literally click and drag that.
Oh, cool.
There you go. And if you look at your actions, you should now have a new action that says falling stone. That's your brand new strike.
Ooh.
So, your AC's gone up to 20, but just be aware in mountain stance, your speed is 5 foot left. It's 5 foot less, so you've only got 20 foot speed right now.
That's cool.
Okay. As you are looking to react, then, I will also say, can I have a secret perception check off you, then, please?
Can indeed.
As you are essentially readying up.
Private GM roll, yeah?
Yes, please. Alright, awesome. So, the party wait by the back gate as Beryl goes to break this lock. However, Beryl, this is a solid lock. You don't think that you would be able to break it. And then you look up, and then you realize, with the power you're putting behind this, you could probably easily scale this fence. You don't think you've done enough to break this lock. It's going to take too long. But going over the fence is probably going to be a hell of a lot easier for you.
Right, this is sturdier than I thought it was going to be. So, gentlemen, the old up and over.
Indeed.
Let's go for it.
Okay, so you have rope, I imagine.
Yeah, I've also got a grappling hook if it's needed.
Yeah. So in that case of Ferrell's athletics, what he does is he scales over the fence. And what he does upon the other side is he is able to use his rope and grappling hook, and Auric and Ronursh can definitely get over without issue, and with the three of them combined, Ark will be able to get over without problem. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock and open this panel so you can move in. But essentially you're going up and over. Now, are you leaving the grappling hook and rope there? Or are you retrieving it after you're done?
Oh no, I'm retrieving it.
Okay, so essentially the panel closes and locks up again. And yeah, you see that you have come into what is essentially the cart park. The wagon is still parked in here, and it doesn't look like it has been used today. But off to your north, you do see a great big large cattle pen that's open to the air, and there is a stink of manure, mud, and animal. However, and you don't even really need a check for this, the smell is actually not that strong, as if there wasn't a lot of animals in there to begin with, which you already know. So how do you want to proceed from here?
Double doors? Or through the barn?
These lighter patches, is that light coming through windows, or it's just area effect on the map?
It's just an area effect on the map.
That's fine then.
Once again, shout out to Lazy Ferret Maps, who has done the complete Curse of the Crimson Throne Adventure Path maps updated, which can be used for more modern VTTs and even home games. So, Ko-fi link below. If you've got some money to spare and you want to send some love Ferret's way, Ferret, thank you very much. So, feel free to move on.
Well, does someone want to check these doors?
I'll go that way.
Okay, you get to those doors, Ark, and you're confident they're unlocked.
They're not locked. Shall we?
Do you hear anything behind them?
Let's have a listen.
Everything appears to be quiet.
Don't hear a thing.
Alright, so if you're going to open the door, feel free.
Oh, I can't open it.
And that's where you realise, Ark, that maybe your powers of perception are not exactly on point today, because the door is actually locked.
Apparently it's locked. Who knew?
Didn't you just say it was unlocked?
Hush.
Well then,
Shall we try the others?
Might as well.
alright. So you proceed up through the cattle pen. Ronursh, are you going with or are you hanging back?
I will go with.
Alright, so you head to the double doors to the north of the cattle pen. It appears that these doors do lead to what you presume is some kind of storage barn, because the smell, basically, the animal smell, the mud smell, the manure smell, it continues to these doors and even beyond it. The smell permeates through. As Oryx says, so who's going to check if these doors are locked? No offense, but I'm not trusting Ark right around now. Hey, Ronursh, you want to give it a go?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so Ronursh, if you proceed up to the door, you are incredibly confident that they are unlocked.
Cool.
Feel free to click on the door to open. Alright.
Clear.
Ronursh, you open the doors up and you proceed inside to what is certainly, let's see, the holding pens. Two foul-smelling pens take up the majority of this room. Each pen is defined by a wooden fence set with a gate. Inside each is a long water trough and heaps of filthy hay. The floor here is hard, packed earth. But one thing that sticks out to you immediately, Ronursh, is actually something sticking out. In this southeastern corner of the second pen, like someone has tried to cover something up into this hard packed earth, but it is sticking out and you can blatantly see it easily. Nobody else does, for the record, but Ronursh does.
I'm going to go up and have a little look at it.
Okay, so feel free to move yourself into this square. As Ronursh, you take a look and you notice that the Cowhammer boys have tried to dig what appears to be a storage crate of some kind, almost akin to a footlocker, underneath the earth. And what actually stands out is the edge of the locker and one of the brass handles that is used to transport this footlocker.
Gonna grab the handle and give it a tug.
yeah, with your strength, it absolutely comes out easily without an issue. And you find this military grade footlocker left unlocked. Well, it's fastened down, but there is no lock on it. And you basically find the loot that the Cowhammer boys have seemingly stolen from Citadel Volshnek. Now, I will say, for the sake of ease and moral potential dilemma, that Christina Croft has given you authorization. She was an adventurer, she knows how it works. She has given you authorization to basically take what you find. So here is what you find in the storage box. All of these items you can identify except for one, because it is actually an uncommon item. Arc, the first thing that Ronursh pulls out, is actually a spell scroll of 2nd level. Imbued in it, the arcane spell of Befitting Attire. Then you find 2 consumables. The first is used to give yourself cover in a fight, known as a Hollybush Feather Token. The second item helps you with acrobatics checks to balance, a consumable known as a Jade Cat. And then you find a dagger, but this is no regular dagger. And Ronursh, with your Corvosan guard lore knowledge, you know that the guard pretty much have these, more than likely to fight the imps that sometimes break out of Ark's Academy and cause hassle to the people below, because this dagger is made of silver, and imps are weak to silver. Then finally, the last item will need to be identified, because you pick up what appears to be an unusual necklace of some kind. It appears to be a necklace made out of lace, wood and stone, and each symbol on the necklace almost appears to be in the form of a point. So the unusual necklace will need to be identified.
There's some good stuff here. I don't think I can use much of it, but we can divvy it up later, I suppose.
Indeed, let's go find Varric.
Alright, so we'll say that just for the sake of ease, one of you, I know for example Ronursh, he's not very encumbered with his weight at all at the moment, so we'll just say that Ronursh sticks the party loot into his bag for now, and you proceed onwards.
I'm gonna try this door.
Okay, this door is actually locked.
Anybody have any pick-locking tools?
No. Farrell?
I've got a foot.
I was gonna say I've got a foot too. Shall we pick it at the same time?
Depends on how loud you want to be.
Oh, very loud.
I think
Or
we don't have... I
You
don't
pick
think... no, I don't. It's not my... He looks at you and he goes, not my forte.
It's not mine, but if someone had some, I could probably learn. I have a thing for that.
Okay. Auric will say, well, I guess we've got to boot this thing then, and just hopefully it doesn't make too much noise. So he'll turn round and he will say, tell you what, he points to a specific point of the door. Generally, if you aim for the lock and try to bust the lock directly, that's usually the way you can get through with the minimum amount of damage and noise. So what the GM is going to ask for here is, Ronursh, can I have an athletics check, public off you, and that will essentially be an assist roll to Feral.
$21.
Okay, that is going to be a success and a +1 bonus, which I will inform you with Feral's exploration of athletics is going to be enough to kick this door open, and exactly at the point where Auric points out. So there's a but not too bad as the door flies open into what appears to be the killing floor of all the world's meat. In front of you, you see a great big massive blood pile literally scattered all over the place. On the floor lies one of the infamous cow hammers itself, the type of hammer, even in the real world, that used to be used to originally stun the slaughtered creatures before using its bladed side to do the slaughtering. And let me give you the descriptor of the killing floor. The floor of this grim chamber is strewn with blood-stained straw, and the reek of slaughter is almost overpowering. Meat hooks dangle from a metal track affixed to the ceiling that allows hooks and their gory loads to be moved easily around the room. In the northwest corner, which is where you're at, a large hammer sits on the floor amid a permanent blood stain. To the south, a blood-stained grill covers a wide hole in the floor, and it is currently opened. Just north of the grill sits two large vats of water, one boiling and one cold. Two large butcher blocks stand off to the east next to the barrels of salt, and in the southwest corner sits a reeking vast of cast-off meat and bones. Floor is yours.
Let's have a look.
How big is that hammer? Is it like sort of single hand, or is it like a two-handed weapon?
It is the equivalent, mechanically, of a warhammer, which is a one-handed weapon in Pathfinder 2, I believe. I have actually got it statted, if you want to pick it up.
Yeah, I'll pick it up and have a look.
Okay, so everyone pause where they are for now, and I will just put the cow hammer into the party loot box. It is a slightly homebrewed item. It is got the base stats of a warhammer, so I believe it is one-handed. Yes, it will deal exactly, believe it's a D8 for a warhammer. Double checking. Yes, it's a D8 bludgeoning damage for a warhammer, but because of the bladed side, with this being a cow hammer, it does have the versatile S property, which means you can make it also a slashing weapon. And not only that, because this weapon is designed to, or this hammer is designed to stun, you land a critical hit with this hammer, then the target must make a fort save DC 15 or become stunned 1.
Fair enough.
Okay. Auric. So Auric turns around and he looks at you and he just says, how much livestock did you say came in here?
From what we saw, it was like 3 pigs and a cow, maybe something else, I'm not too sure, but that's about what I saw.
Right. And he looks around
Definitely.
he looks around the room concerned.
Yes.
Definitely not enough meat for this amount of blood.
Okay, everyone hold position. Let's find out what they're doing. So, Ark, what are you doing in your position by the vats?
I'm just having a look. I'm mainly at the blood to see. Ark's done a lot of cleanup work for other things. You want to see what type of blood. Is it actually more animal, or is it something else?
Let's have a look. This, I'm just going to set the DC for now. Let's see. Okay, can I have a... I would actually say either medicine or nature, Ark.
Right. Therefore, I'm going to cast a spell.
Alright, what you casting? Is this your focus spell?
Yeah.
Alright, so bring it up. So, this is the spell of Ancestral Memories. It's a concentrate, along with the tags of Arcane Divination and Sorcerer. The memories of long-dead spellcasters grant you knowledge in a specific skill. Choosing any non-law skill or a law skill related to the ancient empire from which your bloodline sprang, you temporarily become trained in that skill and may gain other memories associated with an ancestor who was trained in that skill. If you attempt a task or activity that lasts beyond the spell's duration, which is 1 minute, use the lower proficiency modifier. So, how do you cast this spell? What does it look like? And what are you becoming trained in?
So you see Ark just like kneel down towards the blood, and then a bronze light begins to glow out of his eyes, and you see that a figure appears next to Ark as if to show him how it's done, and he's becoming trained in medicine.
So, we'll actually say that the figure that appears before you is actually your grandmother, Agatha. And she was famous around the academy because she was actually the matron of the academy. Students get hurt a lot at the academy if they're very bloody reckless. So your grandmother appears before you and basically knows instinctually what you want to do. So she kneels down beside you and she points out the blood spatters and the differences between them. Can I have a medicine roll then, please?
Public or secret?
Let's just make it public.
Let's hero point that, because that was a 14.
Yeah, no worries. You've got 3 left in the pool for the record. Go for it.
Reroll and keep the new result.
Go for it.
That's a 17.
So, your grandmother Agatha sits with you, tries to point out the different blood spatters to you. She looks at you before she fades and she says, Ark, my boy, I cannot tell what is here, but there is more than one blood type. I'm guessing 3 or 4. Farewell, grandson. And with that,
dear.
and with that, her memory fades. Ronursh, what are you looking around at?
I was just sort of taking a peruse through the general area, just sort of seeing if I could see anything on the side that, you know, that table to the bottom right where you've got your mouse over, yeah, like anything on there that looks out of place or odd.
It looks like that this is where the bones get discarded, to be quite frank.
Can I examine the bones and see if anything seems suspicious?
Sure, move yourself over 1 towards the actual disposal area a bit more. Thank you. It's there as you go to look over that your perception check from your exploration action being readied. By the way, I will reveal Ronursh rolled a natural 20 for a 26. Ark rolled a 9 for his perception, and Farrell rolled a 17 for athletics. That's why the assist was needed, because the break for the door was DC 18.
Mm-hmm.
You go to look over the bones, but then you hear something coming directly from behind you. The grate here that leads down into the Corvosan sewer, where you would imagine most of the disposal happens, has actually been pulled open, and you hear as two creatures appear out of the sewer system. They appear to be, well, take a look for yourself.
Ugh.
Basically, think a crab combined and mixed up with almost a scaly fish slash snake-like creature. As they all look around, seeing the presence of other people in this room, their claws start to in aggression. And when we return to Curse of the Crimson Throne, we're going to be rolling some of that initiative, but for today, we're out of time, so that's where we're going to close it. Luckily, thanks to Ronursh, they didn't get the drop on you. But I have to ask before we get out of here, how is everyone finding exploration mode now? Is everyone sort of like pseudo getting the idea of how it's supposed to go?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's
it is,
starting to click.
yeah, because it's different from D&D, where you're pretty much asking every 5 minutes, can I do this? Can I do that? It's more about narrative and map expression.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what I'm finding funky about it, because I was like thinking, why have they designed it this way? And a friend of mine online said it to me perfectly the other day. It's also for people who's playing Theatre of the Mind.
Mm.
Because this would work well for that as well. But I think a nice little run through of exploration mode today. And next session, well, it looks like we're going to have our first combat session in a while, as the party deal with what is coming out of the Corvosan sewer system. So until then, on behalf of myself and my friends, thank you all very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Curse of the Crimson Throne. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
You wanna tear down these walls, and I know you can do anything. But it's too late, too late, too late, too late. Slide down the rooftop, slide down.